everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. Today we are making the Turkish Delight Square, which you've already seen on that title screen just before. I haven't actually made it yet. That title screen will be done after I've made the square. So it's a true crochet along today. I'm crocheting along with you as we go. No prior trial. So it is Turkish Delight, and in the UK we have some Turkish Delight sweets, candy, and they are squishy cube sweets, and they are a dark pink inside, and then they're covered with icing sugar, confection sugar on the outside, and so they're a pale pink. So I'm making it in our Turkish Delight sweets colour. They were one of my dad's favourites at Christmas time, a box of Turkish Delight, all covered in chocolate, even better. So that's what I'm doing. You could choose whatever you like. Two colours ideally does show the pattern off quite nicely. And in addition to that, you will need some scissors, and you will need a hook, and you will need or you may wish to use a stitch marker as well. And other than that, you might just want to grab a cup of tea or coffee. And there we go. Let's get started on this little beauty. Okay, I've just grabbed a file sleeve to work on because I've realised that this pink is quite pale for you to see against my white table. So I hope that makes it better for you. So to start round one, we're going to chain 6 and slip stitch into the first chain to make our ring. Now the magic ring doesn't really work for this square. There is sometimes a reason why we say to chain so many. Generally, if it says chain 4 and slip stitch, that can be replaced with a magic ring, usually, because that's kind of a standard size. But if it's anything bigger than a 4, usually you will need to make that actual circle, because this is designed to have a hole in the centre. And if you don't have that hole, then it means that the stitches could all bunch in and it could make your work a bit distorted. So just be aware of that, okay? So we are going to chain 1 and then do 12 single crochets in this ring. Okay, 12 single crochets, and I'll meet you back to slip stitch. Okay, so I have 12 single crochets in my ring now. And then you want to slip stitch to the back loop of the first stitch. So if you're not sure which is the first stitch, just count back around your stitches and find that first stitch. And then when you've found that first stitch, you want to go into the back loop. So if my camera will focus for me. Focus. Come on, camera. If you look at your stitch, you have 2 loops, 2 strands there. It's not going to focus, is it? It's not being nice to me today. Okay, well, if you look at your strands, you have 2, and you want to go into the one that's furthest away from you. Rather than going under both, you want to go in the one that's furthest away from you. So pop your hook under there. I've got some splitty yarn. Sorry guys. There we go. Nope, still splitty. Okay, we'll get there. There we go. So back loop only and do your slip stitch so it leaves your front loop there still. Okay, round 2. Okay, so for round 2 we're going to stay with the same colour, and we are going to work into the back loop of each stitch. So make sure you are familiar with which is the back loop. Now I don't know if this camera is going to focus for me. It's been a bit of a pain for me today. So there we go. There's 2 loops there, and you need to work into that very back one, not the front one. So we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to do a double crochet into the back loop of the next, the same stitch. So the same place that we just slip stitched in, do a double crochet. So we have our chain 3 as a double crochet and then a double crochet. And then you're going to do 2 double crochets in each of those stitches from the previous round in the back loop. So you will end up with 24 double crochets at the end of this round. 24 double crochets. When you finish that, you're going to slip stitch into your top chain of your beginning 3. Do a slip stitch into there, and then you're going to, this is where, if you prefer to use a stitch marker, grab that now, and then if pop your loop off your hook and pop a stitch marker into there, and otherwise just pull up a big loop so that it won't go anywhere. Okay, that is what we have so far. Okay, so I've just popped a stitch marker on mine. Now you know I love my pin and my big pin stitch markers, but when I was on holiday in Scotland, I brought this packet of these really cute little stitch markers. I love them, they're so cute. I went into a yarn store and I just brought this little pack of stitch markers. Can you believe it? Can I even call myself a crocheter with not buying any yarn? Anyhow, there we go. So round 3, you need your other colour, and we are going to attach this colour in the same stitch as where we did our slip stitch. So you just have to kind of move this loop out of the way and attach your colour when I can find my end. Okay, so I've joined my colour into the top of this chain, and then in this round we're going to be working into some of the front loops of round 1, so single crochets where we worked into the back loop on this previous round. So if you look at your round 1, you have got these little bars that come around here. You've got a ring of little bars for each single crochet. You've got these, just one strand, and this is your front loop. So if you can see these, you've just got that front loop there for every stitch, and this is where we're going to be working under, okay, these little strands. So just to show you that there. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet in that very same stitch or chain, and then we're going to work into our first front loop, and we're going to do a treble crochet. So into your first front loop, you're going to do that treble crochet. Can be tricky getting under there, just give it a tug if you need to, or get your hook under it the other way. Depends how tightly you've crocheted. So go under there and do your treble crochet, and then skip a double crochet. Your first double crochet is kind of a little bit linked with your first stitch, so just don't forget that one. So skip that first one, do a single crochet in the next, and then a treble crochet in the next front loop only down here. So just pull it up if you need to. You could pop your needle under there and work under this stitch. There we go. Do your treble crochet. There we go. Skip a stitch. So move that aside, skip a stitch and do a single crochet in the next. And then do another front loop, treble crochet in that next loop down here. Again, just encourage it under there. There we go, that was an easier one. And do your treble crochet. There we go, skip a stitch behind and do a single crochet in the next. And you're going to work all the way around. Oops. You will have at the end of this 12 single crochets and 12 front loop treble crochets, and I will see you at the end for joining. Okay, so 12 single crochets and 12 treble crochets. you will finish on a treble. Don't be fooled by this little bar here. That's where you slip stitch. So it's a bit like a fake stitch. So don't be fooled by that. And then you want to do a slip stitch into your first single crochet. And there we go. It's already feeling squishy because it's almost like a double layer. So it's already feeling squishy like a Turkish Delight sweet. How cool is that? Cute. Like that. Okay, so time to fasten this colour off because we're not using it for a round or two. So fasten that colour off, and time to pick up that loop of your first colour. Okay, so I've got the loop on my hook of my light pink. I've taken my stitch marker out, and it's time for round 4. So we are going to, this round you should be able to work over your tail if you wish to. It's always helpful. So you're going to take this loop of your light colour or your previous colour and chain 1. And then you're going to do a single crochet into that first single crochet where you've just slip stitched. Grab the tail and do a single crochet. And then you're going to do a single crochet into the next 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. So that's 4 stitches, so that includes the treble. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So finishing on the single crochet, and no back loop, front loop or anything on this round, just straight normal stitches. So that's 5 altogether. And then in the next stitch we're going to start squaring off and make a corner. So we're going to do 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So 1, 2 double crochet and chain 2 and 2 more double crochet. Pretty standard corner stitches there. Okay, and then you're going to do another 5 single crochet, and then you're going to do a corner. 5 single crochet and a corner, 5 single crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch back into your first single crochet. 5 single crochets and then a corner. Okay, so I'm just finishing my last corner, and I know you're all smart enough to realise when I said 5 single crochets and then finish off, you realise you need to do that last corner. I missed off our last corner. Whoever had a square with 3 corners? Me. I think some would call that a triangle. Okay, so there we go. How cute is this looking? I love this. Oh my gosh, I love this. So cute. Okay, so we're going to stick with the same colour and move on to round 5. Okay, so round 5 is nice and simple. You are going to do 1 single crochet. Well, we're going to chain 1 first, as usual, and then do a single crochet into the same stitch. And then you're going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch along until you get to your corner. So I'll do that with you. 1 single crochet in every stitch, including your double crochets, and then in your corner chain space you're just going to do 3 single crochets. That's how simple this round is. So 1 single crochet in each stitch and 3 in your corner. Okay, when you get back around to the start, you're going to slip stitch into your first single crochet. Just checking I've done a stitch in every stitch, and I had. So then you're just going to either pull up your loop or pop your stitch marker on, and we're going to go back to our contrasting colour. There we go. How cute is that? Gorgeous. Okay, so you're going to join your colour 2 into your third or left stitch of your corner 3. So in your corner you have 3 stitches. You're going to do it to the one that's furthest to the left, or if you're left-handed, it will be the one furthest to the right. Okay, so the one just to the left, or in that corner. Okay, the last one of the 3. Okay, and once again, this is a round where you will be able to work over the tail quite easily if you wish to. Just a little heads up there. So chain 1, and then you're going to do a single crochet in that very same stitch, and then the next single crochet you're going to do a long single crochet, or also known as a spike stitch. So I think we have done a spike stitch before, but I'm not sure whether it was a double crochet or a single crochet. So we're doing single crochet, long single crochet, or spike stitch. So this next stitch, you want to go into the base of that stitch. So this gap here, the base, you're going to go into there, or it's kind of like the top of the previous stitch, I guess. So you're going to go in there, and then you're going to do your single crochet as usual, but make sure you just put it up a little bit further than normal, because if you don't, it will just all squish down, and then it will be really squished down and not good. So just pull that up as usual. Now, I said you can work over your tail, but how do you do that for a spike stitch? Let me just show you. I'm going to call them spike stitches just because if not, I'm probably going to confuse myself and I'll be using all different terms. But the pattern does call it a long single crochet. So if you want to work over your tail, just grab it, pull it over the working yarn, and then hold it against the work. So you've just got it over there at the back. Go into the bottom of that stitch, pull through, and then do your single crochet as usual, and that tail is trapped in there now. Okay, so then in the next stitch you're going to do a regular single crochet, which is in the top here, and then the next one you're going to do a spike stitch. So you're going to go into the base. Now make sure it's the base of that stitch and not anywhere else. So look for your next stitch, which is here, and so we're going to go in the base here. So again, I'm going to put my tail over the top and then work that stitch into the bottom there, pull it up, and then do my single crochet. So you can now see here, if I can get my work held right, you can see you've got these short regular single crochets, and then you've got these longer single crochets. Looks good. So then you're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch, and that will be the one where you slip stitched. So just do a single crochet in there, just over the top of your stitch marker. This one's going to be a little tricky, but just stick with it, you can do it. And then into the base of the next stitch for a spike stitch. Grab my tail, work over that tail, there we go. But having said that, you want to leave this working yarn of the other colour, you want to leave that free, so make sure you've not trapped that under there. So that's already there, we're good. So it can be a little fiddly when you're using 2 yarns and you've got another one working, but it does work, and just persevere. So then do a single crochet in the next, and then do a spike in the next, a regular single crochet in the next, a spike stitch in the next, and then a regular single crochet in the next, which should be the first one of your corner 3. So we're just going to do a regular one there, and then the next one we are going to do a spike stitch. Okay, so the next one is actually one of these corner stitches. Now there's nowhere to go in apart from the chain space, so just go into the chain space and do your next stitch over the top of that, like so. Okay, I don't know if you can see that there, so just work over it like so, and then do your regular single crochet in the next stitch, which will be the last one of that corner, and there you go. So this corner here, you've just got that longer strand coming down there in the middle, okay? And then you've got your alternating single crochet and long single crochet spike stitch. Okay, so you're going to do the same all the way along here. Remember that you should be finishing with a single crochet into your first one of the corner, and there we go. So work that all around, and then you're going to fasten off this colour once you've slip stitched into your first single crochet here. I'll see you back when I've finished. How gorgeous is this looking? Love this. Love this. Some good texture going on as well. Some squishiness, which is always good. And because I've been working over my tails, if you're happy to work over your tails, I highly recommend it, because we've done 6 rounds so far and about 3 colour changes, and I only have these 2 tails here so far to sew in. So brilliant, brilliant, just because I've worked over them when I've had a more closed in round. And this one here, although it's in the corner, I'm going to pull that across and I'm going to work over it still, and then I'll just work over this part when I come to back around. Okay, so you want to pick up your loop of your first colour, grab that back onto your hook, and then, now the pattern shows that we are going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet into the stitch directly below, which should be this second spike stitch along. So it should be this one here. Okay, so if that's going to focus, probably not, because it's having a very funny day, my camera. So we've got first spike stitch there and the second there. So we should be working into here according to the pattern. But for some reason my loop has got rather sort of left of that, and so it's more over the top of this first single crochet. So it doesn't make any difference where you start. I've just double checked that, it doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to start in this stitch that I'm closest to. Okay, so chain 1 and then into that stitch just as regular, go into that and do a single crochet. Simple as that. If your loop is further over this way, then by all means go into that first spike stitch there. That's fine. It just means that when I finish, my spike stitch will be my last one. When you finish, it will be the single crochet to this side of it. Okay, that's all the difference there is. And then do a single crochet in each stitch along, just a regular single crochet in every stitch. Until we get to our corner. So keep going to your corner, and in your corner spike stitch, when you get that, here we go. So in our corner spike stitch we're going to do 3 single crochets for our corner. And that is it, guys, for this round. 1 single crochet into every stitch and 3 into that center stitch of your corner, which is that long single crochet spike stitch. And I will see you when I've done this round. When you get back to the beginning of this round, you want to do a slip stitch into that first single crochet. Okay, and I will see you in a moment. And here we go at the end of round 7. Lovely. So the next round is double crochets in the back loop only. We've done back loop only already, so you know what they are. We're going into that strand of yarn furthest away from us. So when you have your 2 strands on top, you're going to go into the one at the back. Okay, so our first stitch, we're going to do a chain 3 as a double crochet, and then into the next stitch. So this is coming kind of on top of one of your stitches, so go to the next stitch across and do a double crochet into that back loop, and in the next, and hey, guess what, we're going to do one into the next and all the way along until we get to to our corner stitches. So just keep going, double crochet in the back loop only. And now I'm at my corner stitches, so you want to do a double crochet in the back loop only of the first one, and then the second one you're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and then continue around and along the next side, 1 in each stitch, 1 in each back loop, until you get to that next center stitch in your corner, and you're going to do 3 back loop only stitches in that middle stitch of your corner. So all the way around, and then when you get to the start, you're going to slip stitch into the top of your chain 3, which we've done lots of times before, so you know how to do that. So keep going, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. And here we go. Finally, time to fasten off colour A, colour 1. Finally time to fasten that off, because we are on our last round, round 9, and how lovely is this looking? Okay, so I fastened off this, and I'm going to join my other colour into the same stitch that we just finished in. And excuse me, gosh, having a yawn there, my goodness, must be getting time for another coffee. Excuse me for that. So we are going to join our yarn in the same spot, or if you would prefer, you can join it in a corner stitch. That's absolutely fine. I'm actually going to join it in the middle stitch of my corner. I'm going to do my corner first. I'm just going to go against the pattern just because I can. And I know that you guys change it up sometimes if it suits you better. So I'm just going to do it here in the corner, like so. Okay, and again, you can work over these tails in this round. This round is another super simple round of single crochets just to finish it off. So chain 1 in this corner, and then do 3 single crochets in this same corner stitch. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to show you too much of this row because you just know what you're going to do. You're going to do a single crochet in every single stitch, and in your middle stitch of your corner you're going to do 3 single crochets, and that's that. Nice and simple until you get back around to the start, and then you will slip stitch into your first stitch. And I will see you when I've finished this round. And here we go. I love this, love this. And I just want to show you back here that this is where we've carried up our yarn, just in case you haven't made this yet and you're thinking it might make the back look messy. Here is where we carried up our yarn, and actually, turn it the right way around, actually it's not very messy at all. There's a slight extra bump here, but really not much at all, and it just saves so much changing colour and changing your yarn, and saves lots of tails. So I quite like that technique actually. And I've worked over most of my ends, and I've just got these 2 left to do now. So there we go. I'm just going to do that, and then I'll be back with you. And here we go. This is my square completed. I love it. Now if you don't like this bit of a gap here from where we sort of slip stitched over and things, you can just give it a bit of a tweak, just give it a tug and just sort of make it a bit more even there, and that's all you need to do. There we go. So this is the Turkish Delight square. Now you might notice that it looks a bit smaller than usual. It is because I've realised that my darker pink is actually quite a thin yarn. It's supposed to be the same, but it's not. It's quite thin. So I'm probably going to add another round or 2 but I just wanted to show you it as it is according to the pattern. So this is the lovely Turkish Delight Square. So if you have found this useful and helpful, which I hope you have, please click that like button, give us a thumbs up, show us that you appreciate our videos. It does mean a lot to us to see those thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to us when you click that. So please, before you leave, just click that button, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe as well. And until next time, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold.